I seem to think we're online. You're there, but barely audible. Still a bit difficult to hear you on the actual stream, but then again, I kind of have the volume lowered to ridiculous levels because... Holy Zarknabike, I'm loud. Check the volume setting on the microphone in OBS itself. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to hear you through the actual game audio. Meanwhile, I'm loud as lick.
Dial that back. See if that helps any.
I think so.
Alright, well, we'll go with that for now. So, assuming anyone can actually hear me, we're finally back in Johto for the first time in about 2 weeks?
Something like that, yeah.
It's been at least more than 1 week. I believe the first thing that we have to do is get trampled by a mill tank. If I can even remember where the gym is. There we go.
Whitney, stop being a cow! Sorry.
Oh yeah. Apparently we haven't fought these guys yet. to bet I don't have any paralyzed heals. Oh, it's
Yeah, that could be a problem. I mean, when dealing with things that have body slam, at least.
yeah. Of course, the very first battle that I got into, I got paralyzed on.
Naturally. Jigglypuff, one of the only Pokemon that are still relevant to this gym these days.
I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other in this current year. Still no fairy types.
Well, yeah, I kind of... You know what I mean. I do wonder what they're going to do when they reach the point where they actually are going to have to remake Generation 2 for the quaxillionth time. And they're going to have to completely revamp Whitney's gym because you can't shape it after a Clefairy and pretend to be a normal type gym anymore.
Oh well. I think that's probably the easiest thing to change, to be honest.
Oh, probably. Hey, Rocky!
Rock Smash by Rocky.
Insert Yo Adrian reference here.
This is probably the first time Rock Smash has ever actually been useful in a battle.
Probably, when I think about it. I mean,
It's a
although I
horrible
think that
move.
it rather is. Although I think that Data actually used it to great effect on John Cena at some point.
I think that's John Cena though. It's got nothing to
Yeah,
do with the
probably.
move.
Yeah, probably. I mean, somehow Throw is actually pretty useful for a large red Ernie clone. Still surprised they haven't done like a Tyrogue form for that particular set of things.
Well, they've
Make
kind
this
of
probably
not
for the
done.
best.
Yeah, they've kind of not really expanded much of Gen 5's decks at all.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't even done... I think the only Mega Evolution that any Generation 5 Pokemon ever got was, Odino? I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Freaky Pinky. Experience in a can.
Basically, it had no business having a Mega Evolution to begin with.
I mean, I do kind of appreciate the thing in a weird sort of way, but there's a lot of Pokemon in Generation 5 that could have dealt with Mega Evolutions a bit more than it. But I guess they forgot it. So
Yeah.
I absolutely had to shoehorn that joke in.
I wouldn't be surprised if the next generation, assuming it's one that expands the decks again, like Generation 4 did, if Generation 5 got a fair amount of love out of that.
It will be interesting to see, definitely. At this point, I'm just rather curious to see where they're going to actually take the series now. I am quite interested to see what world expansion are we going to actually get. But it's going to be late 2019, so they'll have plenty of time and stringing along to experience before they remember to show us anything from that.
I'm sure we won't see anything until about May, at the earliest.
Yeah, probably. I mean, for now they're probably going to focus their attention on Pokemon Go Simulator, but in Kanto.
Obviously, yeah.
I'm still really raising an eyebrow at what they've done with Venusaur. I mean, it's not like they've done it right now. The animation existed all the way back in Sun and Moon. But that's not how it works.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's mostly, I think, because you see it running in that video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Venusaur and running obviously doesn't make sense to begin with. Venusaur is a
kind of, yeah.
Pokemon that
Which is kind of weird considering. Which is kind of weird considering the fact it's a very fast Pokemon relative to its size. As KOL has pointed out like a lot of times, this thing is still faster than Blaziken. The thing with Venusaur is that, you know, I can sort of picture it sort of moving or running. I mean, there are animals that look like they will not be that fast, and yet they really are. Case in point, bears. But when I look at Venusaur, I kind of picture it as this weird proto-mammalian synapsid, and its walk animation is still kind of like that, but with the run animation, it just looks like they were kind of like,
what do?
What do?
It kind of looks like a frog, so...
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Let's just, we did buy the freaking rigging animation. Whoops, swear jar. But they probably outsourced the rigging to someone else, and they were like, okay, have a frog. And they're like, fine. I will say that... it looks a lot...
Milk tank time.
It's cow time. The stakes have never been higher.
That's what I wanted you to do.
For some reason it... Ugh, flinching. I do not like flinching. Flinch hacks! Oh dear.
Let's try putting it to sleep.
We can try.
No!
Wait, how?
No!
How is that? Does that milk tank have Scrappy now? This is weird. Yeah, it does. Huh.
Of course it does.
I completely forgot it has that ability.
Why would they not make it worse?
I mean, to be perfectly fair, I do remember the last time in which I've played this particular version of the game and didn't have a Heracross on me.
You must have traded it in though, because can you get Heracross in the box?
Yes, you can. You just have to headbutt trees around that route that leads to Azalea.
Oh, okay.
But eventually you do manage to knock one over. I tend to have Heracrosses at that particular point because I just love that thing. And in this generation it's actually useful. Generation 2, it kind of had the issue of not really having a lot of good fighting moves. Or of good moves at all. I mean, I think that in Generation 2 its thing was like reversal.
I'm getting utterly bodied and it hasn't even used roll out.
Huh.
Endless flinching. And a trap.
Endless flinching. Yep. That's the thing with this cow.
Oh boy.
This is gonna be fun.
Oh, actually hit it. It did nothing.
Of course, the only problem with that particular thing is the fact that I think that Whitney actually has she might actually have healing items.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
boy, this is going to be a long day, isn't it? Behold, the cataclysm. And once again, I remember I need to get back to working on Project Frameshift at some point. If only to actually get to that particular mon.
Who needs healing items when you've got milk drink? Oh god.
Right, that thing.
Oh. Guess we'll try Rock Smash. Super effective. It did nothing.
Yeah, that's one reasonably armored cow.
Why is it not even using rollout?
Huh, that's a good question now that I think about it. Let's see. Now that you mention it. No, it does have rollouts. Stomp, attract, rollout, and milk drink. At least they were nice enough not to give it defense curl.
God.
Yeah.
Rollout is a
Yeah, it is.
type move, isn't it?
No, it's a rock type move, and that's probably why it's not using it, because, yeah. There we go. Here we go. In comes the rollout.
Oh. Now it started. Get rid of bullets. Oh, damn. Bye-bye, birdie.
Yeah, something tells me that this particular instance is not going to be... Huh, come to think of it, can you actually paralyze the thing?
If I can hit it.
Hmm. Yeah, and then Unfortunately, everything's a merl. Oh hey, Thunder Wave. Actually worked for a change.
Oh no! No!
Wait, what? Did it? Oh, son of a splenicite. Well, at least it used its berry now, and you are faster than it, and you can paralyze it again.
What a hateful beast.
I know, right? It's like they knew that people are going to attempt to use paralysis or poison or whatever. That's why they gave the Lumberry of all things.
At least it stopped rollout. Alright, one last chance.
The rock says...
Hats.
Yeah, let's hope that paralysis actually does something for a change. Whoa, that was useful.
Oh,
Actually.
yes!
Holy Zarkanabite, I think you might have actually got it. Yes, you did. Awesome! That was close. Good grief.
She's basically
Wasn't
the only hard gym leader in all of the games ever.
Yeah, she definitely has issues if you're not prepared. Of course, I say that and my brain just instantly thinks of Illidan. You are not prepared!
Pokeathlon. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I never actually tried messing around with that thing.
I think it's time that we did.
I don't think it's mandatory to actually try messing around with it, but...
I mean, we did Voltorb Flip last time.
yeah, I suppose so. Might as well. Would be a good idea to heal up first, though, since
Hi,
our
Jerry.
entire team just hit us. To talk about rats, obviously.
Owls, apparently. And how shit he is. Oops, sorry.
I'm not very good at catching Pokemon. Yeah, with that interface, of course it isn't. The trick is to spin the ball a bit.
Yeah, you have to do a little spin in the corner of the screen and then do a curveball. That's how you do it, Joey.
Cog. Curveball thing is one of the most annoying things about Go, to be honest. Well, it's more annoying when it doesn't actually hit. Which is often, unfortunately.
I'm normally fine with it. My problem normally is, most of the time I want to play Go with one hand because I'm going somewhere or doing something. But to do a curveball, you basically need to put it in your other hand and then use your finger for it.
Yep. Which kind of
where
defeats the whole point, doesn't it? I think she just mentioned where it is, but
yeah, I wasn't reading.
I don't think anyone was paying attention to that particular point.
Oh yeah, I need to get the Squirtle bottle.
Oh, yeah. We need to, get the, thing out of the way.
Yeah, I need to go and molest a Sudowoodo.
Kind of amused by the fact that, they didn't actually, give the thing in a Alola form. Although I do appreciate the fact that they, basically, actually, lampshaded that. Because they were like, you know, why doesn't the thing actually take the shape of something that looks like a tree in Alola? Because the developers decided to stick to canned nostalgia wankery. Swear jar. The seconds.
I mean, it doesn't even look like a tree, really.
Nope. I mean, it kind of looked like the sprite they used for the trees in
Oh, I see.
Generation 1. That's only kind of.
Yeah.
Basically, Sudowoodo is a fine case of, what are you doing?
I'm
It's
taking
best.
a photo.
Oh. Let's hope it won't actually, oh. It works. What do you know?
I don't want to talk to you. There we go.
Behold the shiny dome of shininess. And a dude with a frog. Apparently.
Yes.
His name is Magnus. And his frog's name is Frog. There are so many things I can do. What is that even? Oh, it's a Meowth.
Yeah.
Didn't actually recognize the sprite from far away. This is what happens when my head is not actually in the screen. It's like, what is that? Ugh. Right then. Do you have any more question? Yes, why is this a thing? Why are you even here?
Sorry, just seems to be an excuse for having the Pokemon sprites on it.
To be perfectly fair, that's fine. I did like the element of, you know, following Pokemon, although at some point all the people whining about it not coming back just kind of made me really tired of the whole thing. It's like, they don't come back because you whined about it.
And also because it's a lot to do.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, although I guess it's a lot easier to do now since, they have to do the models for the battle system anyway, and it's just a matter of doing a lot of annoying rigging work.
Yeah.
Which they already have done at this point, so...
They've basically been doing it across Generation 6 and 7.
Yeah. Generation 7 already has the animations for every Pokemon that currently exists, which kind of makes me really raise an eyebrow at the fact that they only stuck with the original 151 in Let's Go. But then again, I suppose they wanted to turn it into a series of its own.
Oh,
so
it's
I guess
nostalgia stuff as well, isn't it? But I guess part of it is it's more than just them following you around and walking about. It's riding them and mechanics related to that. So I can see why you'd want to at least control how many of those you do before you start throwing 800 of them at the same world.
Oh, definitely. Although I do wonder how much integration of that feature is going to actually happen in Pokemon 2019.
Well, it bloody better, basically.
Yeah, I would love to see a lot of these animations. Actually, one thing I've noticed is that the animations look a lot better in Let's Go than they did on the Generation 7 models.
Oh yeah, they'll have been worked up within the game rather than just effectively done. Because in Generation 7 they only really used them for moving about in the Snap ripoff. I didn't read any of what Whitney was saying
I'm sorry, I can't get over all the pink hair.
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel. My team color is red, so I'm wearing blue. Smart. Well, Onyx seems to be my fastest, so...
Which is kind of hilarious when you think about it, because Onyx, in terms of actual in-game stats, is, if I recall correctly at least, it is... Oh! No it isn't. That's weird. Onyx is actually pretty fast, and that's kind of all it has going for it. Speed and defense.
I mean, I think in Generation 1 they pretty much just threw darts at the board to pick the stats anyway.
Pretty much.
I don't really think they mean an awful lot compared to what they might have done later on when they put some thought into it. I hope at some point this tells me what I need to do, because I have no idea.
And call the victorious victor.
Good grief.
Touch.
Mini games.
Need to use touch.
Oh, it's one of those.
Touch the Pokemon to jump. Control 3 Pokemon at the same time and jump the hurdles.
Hurdler.
I remember this. This is a pin to do. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. You physically can't do all three together.
How is that even supposed to?
Well, you know what, Ghastly? You're a lost cause. So, you can just bounce around at the bottom. What? What? Hi.
I have no idea.
How does that work?
Magic. Basically magic.
Pennant capture. Run, collect pennants, and return. Slide the status over a Pokemon to move it. Hit others from behind to take pennants. Whatever the hell a pennant is.
In the immortal words of one George Takei, oh my.
I think they're
like
flags, but they just haven't
flags.
bothered to call them flags.
Yep. Oh, there we go.
Whoa! Stop it! Oh shit, is that what I'm meant to do? Ah, I see. Ah. What's happening? Oh, I've swapped out. I see.
Oh dear.
No, stop hitting Togepi. It's just a Babby.
Exactly. I'll get it like the rest. Stop touching me!
Oh, give up. Go, go, go.
Yeah, this is one of those things that
Go, go on it. Go, no.
Yeah. This is one of those things. Yeah, Decathlon is one of those things that were clearly developed because some middle management idiots decided that, you know, oh, we absolutely have to have a feature that uses the, in this particular case, touch, but, you know, it's always the system gimmick, basically.
Of course,
What I wonder
between
is-
that and the gimmick of, we've got all of these sprites, what do we do with them?
That too. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like, I feel that it's like the underground in Sinnoh, in the sense that, yeah,
Oh, this
basically,
is
literally,
horrible.
yeah, oh dear.
Go away! Stop hitting me!
Yeah,
Stupid bird.
sleep. Yeah, I think you're, oh. Oh dear. The control scheme of this thing is absolutely ridiculous, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, it's kinda... So I was at the National Video Game Arcade with some of the guys yesterday,
Yeah.
and at the Video Game Arcade, they had Sega Sonic, the arcade Sonic game, which you control
Whoa.
with the trackpad.
You know, like the one with Ray the Flying Squirrel and all?
Yep,
Holy Zark, where?
that
That's
was
sort of...
that was
where did they
basically as
find one of
impossible to
these?
play as you'd think. It was hard.
I can imagine. For some reason, every time I see Onyx doing that animation, I just picture it going bleep, bleep. And slamming into that ridiculously plastic approximation of a Metagross.
I don't think that went well. Well, I didn't win. Individual prizes, you all sucked, so you don't get one.
Event number 2. Well, that was the thing.
Yep. Well, now
Pretty
that we've
much
done the
white
thing,
was it then?
let's never do it
Yeah.
ever again.
I know, right? I forget what the point of this was actually. Was this like... Was the Pokemon like this game's excuse at the, My brain kind of forgot the term. Sort of this
That's
game's
okay.
excuse for battle points.
Yeah, I got some sort of points. I think you use them for items and stuff.
Yeah, I think that this generation did do that, like apply the Pokemon thing for the same thing that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon used the Mantine Surf.
Yeah.
Sort of a battle point majiggy.
I think that's literally the second time I've ever played it.
I don't think I've ever actually tried it. Cotton spore, because obviously sheep are made of cotton now.
Da, da, da. No, I don't only Growl.
Yeah, Growl is kind of pointless.
Cuts a tree.
There goes the tree.
I don't really know why I waited to use Bite.
It happens. Oh dear.
I waited too long.
It's... Yeah, I've had a few moments where I've used the wrong move instead of the move I was planning on using.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Well,
part
that
poison.
didn't work.
Yeah, part poison. The eternal issue with the ghastly line.
The reason why I first thought when I played Gen 2 and encountered other ghosts for the first time that Earthquake worked on ghost types super effective.
Oh dear. Well, at least it was in Generation 2 rather than Generation 3 and on, where Mischievous was already levitating.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, in Generation 3, the ghastly line also levitates, or it's levitated. Like, it still does. They only changed Gengar recently-ish.
Yeah. It was effectively a nerf for Gengar. That's weird. Apparently the USB from my mic just fell out.
Huh.
It's probably because it's tangled up everywhere. Let's undo that.
Weirdly enough, I can actually hear you better now.
If that's because the USB was falling out, I'm going to be annoyed. Oh, I need to heal now. See, the wood is in the way.
Yeah, I guess that the best thing to do would be to backtrack for a bit.
We'll have to go back to Goldenrod first. Got in the door. Now we'll go and molest a pseudo widow.
Sometimes you just have to.
Sometimes you just wanna. See if in case we kill it.
Can't have that. It's a tree. Psych! What is it doing? Its best.
Ah, joke's on you. That move's useless. Gets in the ball.
And stay there.
Well, it didn't.
Well, of course it didn't. It always have to give you a hard time.
So, the obvious nickname for this is Woody, right? So we should call it Buzz.
Yeah, I was about to say.
To infinity and beyond.
B. U. Z. Z. Bye, Buzz. Oh yeah, berries.
And at this point, everything is gone to pot. Because in this game, you actually get to carry the planters around rather than finding patches of soil, which was a good idea, and I wish they'd kept it. I mean,
The gold, this one, the carrying it around one.
yeah, basically, I mean, if they are...
Because finding random patches of soil and roots that you never go back to ever, that was a
Yeah,
stupid
exactly.
idea.
Yeah, that really, really was.
I mean, I got the idea behind it, when you pick up berries, you put some behind, and then there's more for everyone else. But no, that's actually useless.
Oh dear, random encounters everywhere.
Why are they all psychics?
Well, there was supposed to be a convention here, but it cancelled due to unforeseen circumstances. Yes, I know, that joke is older than the dinosaurs, but I had to.
Oh no. My turn. Oh no, of course. No! Oh no, it's a...
Insomnia?
Yeah, everything's gone wrong. Just throw a rock at it.
Is the crocodile asleep?
Oh.
Oh,
No. It's the sheep that's asleep. Oh well.
it just occurred to me that the crocodile has the ability to bite.
It's got a down anyway.
One tapir less.
I have one awakening.
And then the sheep got thwacked with a copy of a Fire Emblem game. It's all Chrome's fault.
Everything is Chrome's fault.
It usually involves time travel somehow.
Ooh, magnet.
Yep. Now, how do they work? Miracles, that's how.
Ooh, Stadler.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
That thing, actually, I do remember Stantler as being one of the first Pokemon in Generation 2 that managed to randomly take me out back when I first played the game. Just kind of caught me completely by surprise because I did not expect a normal type to be that, well, for that level of the game, to be that angry.
I always quite like Stadler, and I don't really know why.
It's a cool concept, although the performance leaves much to be desired. It's something about its butt face that just kind of always turned me off the line. I really like its weird horn things. Antlers, that is to say. There's basically a reason why Stantler sort of became a huge thing with Miyato. There's a bit of a plot significant thing around them. Oh dear. Hypnosis.
Everything keeps putting me asleep. Aha. Stay in the bowl. Stay in the bowl.
Yeah, these things eat Pokeballs like there's no tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, we have it here.
In honor of Barry Chuckle, I will call it Barry.
Okay. Alright, that's a double.
And make it double.
So,
And sleeping.
oh god, they're both asleep. Oh no! Oh no!
Well, that's not ideal.
The hell with it, they'll wake up.
Meryl. The devil take its face.
Come on, guys.
But they're tired. Well, have it out. Send fires and missiles! And of course, everything in their go just really has a... that ghost is...
Toast?
Both of them. Yep. Shape hates water!
Alright. Go teeth.
This game is certainly going on fabulously today, isn't it?
Oh, don't start using roll eye. How's Mary still asleep?
I guess it counted itself.
There we go.
Well, the Fluffy has a vacant. The Fluffy has a vacant. Paralysis.
Well, none of that went very well at all.
No, not really. Now would be a good time to go heal.
Yeah.
At least you can actually, yeah, I was about to say that. You can actually, take a detour into the, Violet of Cities. Was it Violet?
Yep.
Yeah, it was Violet. Okay, good. I have not entirely forgotten the layout of this region. Even though it has been... How long since I've played Hard Golds or whatever? Pretty much forever. I think my most recent foray into Johto was in a randomized version of Crystal. Yeah, one of the random fuser runs.
Well, I think this is the first time I've done it since, I guess within a year of Heart Gold and SoulSilver coming out.
Huh. I can't even remember when I played it last. I mean, specifically Heart Gold, SoulSilver. I think that the last time I played SoulSilver was in 2010, maybe? Yeah, it was 2010 actually, when I got it. Vastly delayed, but still. I also remember that because I got it somewhere in the US. Yeah, sometimes chronology and I really do not mix, so sometimes I actually have to look into release dates just to see when did I get a certain thing. So yeah, white was the second trip.
So hard.
I'd send over some air conditioning, but I'm afraid it doesn't really go through internet connections.
No, unfortunately the air cooler that I've got set up in the room has not just run out of water.
Yeah. Summers are a complete and utter female dog.
Especially since this one is not ending.
I know, right? We've just started August.
I mean, the whole point of summer in the UK is that it lasts for like 5 days at most, and then it goes back to normal. It hasn't done that yet.
Yep, global cooking at its best. Still amuses me that Rock Tomb actually is useful on certain Pokemon. This is not one of them, but...
Why would you have two of them? Why am I having to use struggle?
That's weird. Did you actually run out? How did you run out of moves then?
What have they done to me?
Was spite a thing at some point? Or, like, I don't even know. Clearly, however, the sheep has run out of PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, it works. Oh.
That was odd. I wonder what happened there. Oh, I think I know what happened. You got encored. That's probably what happened. You got encored and you ran out of PowerPoints for that move that got encored.
I think it was I got my move disabled and then encored.
Oh,
What a dick move.
I know, right? Good grief, that's a new one.
Oh, thank God.
I wonder what your future holds.
Legendaries, and way too many of them. Oh, there's what's his face?
What's his bill?
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
My friends all over the world are making the Pokemon Store system so much better to use. Unfortunately, none of them has figured out how to use that touchscreen yet!
They only started doing that in Generation 5 for some reason.
Can't do it there. Need to do it there.
Do you wonder?
So, before I cook, we're gonna actually leave it on the hour this time. Ish.
That works.
So, next week, normality resumes. This will be back on a Saturday. Pokemon White will be back on a Sunday. And other stuff might happen throughout the weeks.
They might. I probably will be around for Platinum on Friday, but I am not entirely certain yet. We shall see.
Either way, we'll actually put out stuff with notice at some point.
Yeah.
Probably. It might not be much notice, but it'll be some notice.
But there will be a notice, yeah.
So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys the next time.
Indeed.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back.